Nostradamus wrote a cryptic prediction 500 years ago, and it sounds chillingly like coronavirus.
Before we begin, do us a favor and click that like button. Also subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be inspired by these inspiring stories every day.
All over the world today, people are attempting to adjust to the terrifying realities brought about by the coronavirus. Yet while many of us wrestle with how the outbreak practically affects our lives, others have delved into mysticism. Specifically, some internet users have suggested that centuries ago, Nostradamus predicted this exact situation. The world, of course, has experienced its fair share of pandemics up until this point. Yet, for many of us, the impact of the coronavirus has been unlike anything we've ever experienced before. Entire sections of society have been shut down, with swaths of people advised to avoid social contact as far as possible. Many people are now confined to their homes, hiding from this invisible airborne illness, which has so dramatically affected almost every aspect of their daily lives. Given these extreme circumstances, it shouldn't come as a surprise to learn that outlandish claims have begun to surface. And one of these suggests that the supposed prophet Nostradamus warned us of what was to come back in 1555. The standard mode of transmission of the coronavirus is from one individual to another. When an infected person sneezes or coughs, little airborne drops of water given off can carry the virus and then enter into another person's system. The subsequent disease which is induced is COVID-19, an illness which usually primarily affects a sufferer's lungs in particular. COVID-19 was first detected in the Chinese city of Wuhan on December 1st, 2019. Though we can't say for certain, it's been suggested that the initial patient was a male in his 50s. After this case, of course, more instances of illness were soon noted in the region around Wuhan. Right from the beginning, the virus spread quickly, with cases roughly doubling in frequency after every week or so. Throughout the early days and weeks of January, the virus started to make its way to other parts of China. This was exacerbated by the Chinese New Year, which sees great numbers of people moving around the country annually. By January 20th, 2020, more than 6,100 people had been officially recorded as exhibiting symptoms of the disease. Furthermore, news reports indicated that an average of almost 140 new patients were being acknowledged each day at this time. As January reached its close then, the WHO announced that the eruption of the illness was now a global matter. Throughout February, the coronavirus moved into a number of other countries beyond China. The hardest-hit nations at this point were South Korea, Iran, and Italy. In fact, by the middle of March, Europe had now become the hub of the outbreak, which had been designated as a pandemic on March 11th by the WHO. In the United States specifically, the arrival of coronavirus was verified on January 21st, 2020. By March 12th, about 1,000 diagnoses had been recorded, but rates grew rapidly from this point on. A national emergency was announced on March 13th, with rates spiking by roughly 1,000 cases a day after that. The Eyes of Darkness concerns a young boy being imprisoned in a base after becoming infected by Wuhan 400. This is a microorganism which, the story goes, had been created artificially by mankind. Obviously, the name of the infection seems to reference reality, and people have noticed other similarities throughout the tale too. Having said that, there are clear divergences between the story and reality. For one thing, the fictional Wuhan 400 is deadly for every person that catches it. On the other hand, while the fatality rate for COVID-19 is yet to be accurately calculated, it's clear that the disease is deadly for only a relatively small percentage of those infected. Furthermore, the imaginary disease only impacts people, whereas coronavirus is thought to have first come from animals. Elsewhere, people have recently been turning to another book which was first published back in 2008. This is End of Days, Predictions and Prophecies About the End of the World, penned by Sylvia Browne. In this work, the self-proclaimed psychic author describes the onset of pneumonia crisis engulfing the Earth. This short section of End of Days has captured the attention of some people on Twitter. One person, for instance, posted, "How crazy is this? The psychic, Sylvia Browne, predicted the coronavirus." Another, meanwhile, said, "I remember Sylvia Browne. She was always pretty accurate with her predictions." As with the Eyes of Darkness, however, certain things don't match up exactly. Indeed, some people have taken to their keyboards to express their skepticism regarding the predictive nature of Browne's book. As one person has pointed out on Twitter, even a broken clock gives the right hour of the day twice. And another individual, meanwhile, tweeted something along the very similar lines as this. Oddly enough, Nostradamus himself had to deal with a pandemic during his lifetime. Aged just 14, he had started his university education in the French city of Avignon. This was cut short, however, as his university shut down following the spread of plague. Of course, this mirrors instances of universities shutting down around the world today. In the year 1529, Nostradamus started attending the University of Montpellier to train to become a doctor. However, he was soon thrown out of the institution after he was discovered to be breaking rules by dispensing medication to people. From there, he continued working in medicine, garnering attention by concocting rose pills to inoculate people against the plague. It's said that Nostradamus traveled to the city of Agen in 1531. While he was there, he tied the knot with a woman, though we can't be sure of what her name was. The couple had 2 kids, but tragedy was right around the corner. In 1534, both Nostradamus' spouse and their children perished, in all probability having contracted the plague. Nostradamus' almanac did very well, and so he was emboldened to come up with more. And so over the course of several years, he created numerous such publications. It was off the back of these that he attracted the interest of many members of the ruling class who sought his supposed psychic abilities. Eventually, Nostradamus started work on the book for which he is most well known in contemporary times. This is Les Prophecies, which was first circulated in 1555. The publication contains numerous predictions about future events in the form of multiple 4-line stanzas. Broadly speaking, the notion of catastrophe is a recurring theme of these supposed premonitions. Today, as the world tries to get grips with the coronavirus pandemic, some people have suggested that Nostradamus foresaw this exact scenario arising. In one passage of Les Prophéties, the writer discusses the Great Plague of the Maritime City. But could this be a reference to what we're seeing now? According to one writer and follower of Nostradamus, it most certainly is. As Mackenzie Sage Wright told lifestyle website Men's Variety, any fool can see that Nostradamus could see exactly what's happening now with this virus. None of us should be surprised at what's happening. You can only trash the planet for so long before Mother Nature fights back. Dunning also implied that attempting to make sense of Nostradamus' prophecies was the work of conspiracy theorists. He also went on, how accurate are his predictions? You could fill a library with books claiming to match his prophecies with major events in world history, all of course deciphered and published after those events occurred. The podcaster continued, Nostradamus was truly one of the brilliant lights of his day, but to subscribe to false stories and urban legends is to disrespect who the man actually was. Appreciate his contributions to medicine and Renaissance literature, and don't trivialize his good works in favor of pretending history of paranormal magical powers. But much more grim outcomes have been predicted too. Economists have started to speak about a significant recession, which seems to be rapidly approaching. As such, there are those who are now attempting to prepare for this eventuality. Really, though, who knows how serious this projected downturn could prove to be? At the time of writing, a number of institutions are attempting to concoct a vaccine to help defeat the coronavirus. Yet, such a substance could still be a long, long way from ever coming into reality. For now, then, the future remains murky, even with a collection of Nostradamus' alleged prophecies to help guide us. The world is filled with stories going viral every single day. But how many of these sites can you actually follow? We understand that your day should start with positive stories, stories that resonate with you. And so we started JoJo Stories. Our mission is to create meaningful stories that cover everything from animals to anthropology, history to environment and lifestyle. The kind of content you read on our site will be one you'll want to share with your family and friends. We hope you'll join our growing family and be part of our community. Welcome to JoJo Stories. JoJoStories.com.